Okay, so last question. Yes.
I have a comment more than a question.
Sure, sure.
Okay. I'm Jennifer Howard McAllis from Sidley Austin. Just a quick comment to respective points that you had raised. Both Rob and Nick had mentioned the importance of rule of law and the importance of governments honoring contracts, et cetera, which is part and parcel of what investors look at when turning to invest in governments. And just a comment on what you said, sir. With respect to investor state cases, when a case is brought against a government, it is against the government, and those are highly visible in political cases. And I think investors really look at those carefully when trying to weigh in where they're going to invest. I think they are pretty important, and they are, because it is an individual or a company against a government. Those are taken seriously in investment communities.
But we are talking about another situation, company to company.
No, there are two different things. One is, Hillary was mentioning a company-to-company arbitration, and you had mentioned Cargill, for instance, which is... I understand that, yeah. And it's a company versus a state. So it is not company-to-company, it's more publicly known, even though apparently that is a very well-known case. It is more publicly known and visible to the investor community. That's what I'm saying, is that investor-state disputes, the ones that are often processed through ICSID, are a private investor versus a government, and that makes it a more visible to the investment community kind of dispute, which I think plays into what all the panelists were saying is being critical to investment.
And maybe that's, excuse me, sorry, but I think we have to end it there, although I think this final comment is a particularly important one about the visibility of cases, and you're making the distinction between a government or a government entity, even if it isn't the national government of Poland, versus a private company. But there are private company to private company disputes that also become highly visible, and I think, or in some cases, the conduct of private companies reflects on, as Hillary said, reflects on the country itself. So the Union Carbide disaster in India really did reflect on, to a great extent, on the United States. And so I think that's an important point to bear in mind. We thank you all for coming today. We had a very spirited discussion, and I think this will continue. And thanks especially to our friends from the Polish Embassy. I know this is a very busy time. Having been in the State Department myself, it's a very busy time when your foreign minister is in town, so thank you for coming today. Everyone dismissed.
I'm John.